What's going on, everybody? I'm your host, Ben Valley, and back with another episode of the Sports Pod. And I'm back. It's been a while, too long, a little bit over 3 weeks. Knicks have played a lot of ball, some good ball, some bad ball. They made it into the knockout stage of the in-season tournament. We got blown out there. I'll talk about that game. I'll talk about everything. Um, in between our last couple episodes here, and then Shohei Ohtani made his decision today. He's going to the Dodgers, 10 years, $700 million. I'll talk about that deal. Juan Soto got traded. A lot to talk about today. Let's get right into it. All right, starting off with the Knicks. So the last time I made an episode, I believe that they just wrapped up a game playing against. Let's see here. The Hawks game was the one that I didn't make a podcast on. And I don't know why. That was such a good game. I wanted to talk about that one. But I didn't, and I should have. Let's see. It might have been the Hornets. I think it was the Hornets the last time I made a podcast. Maybe the Spurs. Either the Hornets or the Spurs. But it's been too long, and the Knicks have played a ton of games. I think over 10. And most of it's been good. There are a couple bad things I want to hit on, but I'm just gonna start with the good stuff. They've been winning a lot of games. They lost their last two to the Bucks and Celtics, which the in-season tournament really screwed us over because now we have to play both of those teams twice. And the Knicks right now, they were in the 5 seed the other day, but now they're back tied for the 6th, but they're really in the 8th because of tiebreakers and stuff. They're 12-9. I want that record to be a lot better. I think it can be a lot better if they hit their free throws and just shot the ball better. Really, that's all it. That's all it needs to be. They haven't shot well. They haven't made free throws. The free throws have been better. Um, it's just against these, they're beating the teams they're supposed to beat, which is really good. But then when they get into a game against like the Celtics or the Bucks, um, they always seem to have a couple hiccups and then let the other team go on a run, and then it snowballs and eventually they end up losing the game in blowout fashion. That's what happened in the in-season tournament game against the Bucks in the knockout round. I'll get to that a little bit later, and I'm gonna talk more in depth on that one because it's one that they just played the other day. But really, with the Knicks, I'm okay with where they are right now. I know things are going to change. I think they're going to be active at the deadline, more active than they were last year. And I think it'll help them. I think Leon Rose is a good GM, and I think Dolan is willing to go after guys that they're going to have to pay a lot of money for. And one thing they cannot mess around with on the money is signing quickly this offseason. He needs to be signed. Give him whatever he wants. 4 years, $100 million. We'll take that. I know Brunson's making that kind of money, but that's a bargain deal for how good of a player he's been. He's played way better than his contract says he should be. 4 years, $104 million, $25 million, or $26 million seems cheap for a player as good as he is. And if we have to give quickly that, I'm okay with it. He's such a big part of this team, provides energy off the bench, and does everything. I've been seeing trade rumors that quickly could be a part of a package deal for DeMar DeRozan, which I don't know about. I'm trying to look at this from a not biased standpoint because quickly is my favorite player on the Knicks. He's my guy, and I know I've said that before, but I don't want him to be traded. I don't think we'll have enough 3-point shooting. Like, you have these high energy guys, Dante, who got moved into the starting lineup the other night. Grimes got benched, so I'm not even gonna count him anymore. Grimes is high energy, high defensive guy. He knocked down the three ball. Josh Hart, he plays really good defense, and his shooting comes in waves. He'll play he'll shoot well for a couple games and then I'll go cold. He's a streaky shooter. And then quickly is the other guy. So if you can have three consistent 3-point shooters off the bench, one of them is going to be starting Dante Grimes and quickly. Then the other two come off the bench. I think that's good. But if they lose quickly or they lose Grimes, and I've been seeing that Grimes and quickly would be in these package deals to get a star, then I don't know. Because I know we need at least one, if not two guys that can shoot the three really well to come off the bench. Because that's the NBA now. It's 3-point shooting. It's no more pound it inside, get in the post, which can be fun to watch at times when it works for a team and they start winning a lot of games like that. But most of the time, it's not. And Steph Curry changed that. When he came in the league in 2009, that all changed. So the Knicks, just going to wrap that portion up here, I think. Actually, I want to talk about Grimes getting benched in the in-season tournament a little bit more. So Grimes, he got benched Friday night against the Celtics. I've been pushing for this for a while on Instagram if you've been following me and staying updated with it. Because I've been posting on there, just haven't been making actual podcasts. You can go check me out at the sportspod_Ben. Still been posting a lot, not a lot of like reels and actual posts, but I've posted on my story a lot of like reposts from a bunch of Knicks creators. Shout out Knicks Fan TV. I met CP, the host of that show, outside the Garden one night. That was cool. Would love to get him on the show if he'd be willing to come on. And I also have something in the works. I'm not going to let you guys know yet, but there's something in the works right now. But with Quentin Grimes, he started off the season really, really slow. And he's mentioned or talked about his frustration of not touching the ball enough, not getting enough touches, not getting enough shots. And I put part of that on him because even when he does touch the ball, he's real quick to swing the rock, get it to the next guy, keep the ball moving, which is fine, but it's times when he has a wide open three to take. And that's the shot we want for him. And the way he's going to get out of the shooting slump is by shooting through it. Shoot or shoot. You got to keep shooting to get out of a slump. That's just how it works. And with Grimes, he was shooting, but he wasn't doing it enough. And he also wasn't making shots when he was shooting. And I don't even think that the starters were hesitant to give him the ball. I just think that the Knicks game in the starting five is a lot of pounding and a lot of ISO ball. On the bench, they're two completely different teams. A lot of ball movement. The ball has life always. Looking to get pass up a good shot for a great shot. High energy on defense. Looking to get out in transition. All the things that I like and I think Tibbs likes, and I think that's what he wants them to do. And um, and I think it's the right move for this team to start DiVincenzo, put Grimes to the bench. Dante had a nice game last night also against the Celtics, a really good Boston Celtics team. I think they're first in the East right now. But last night, Dante DiVincenzo in his first game as a starter, well, not his first game as a starter for the Knicks, but his first actual start, not starting because of injury or anything. He had 6 points on 2 of 5 from deep. So I'll take that from him. And you know what he provides on the defensive end. You know how much energy he brings. He had 4 rebounds from a guard. That's pretty good. 2 assists. I would like a little bit more, maybe, but I'm okay with that. And then 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 6 points, no steals, and a turnover. A minus 21 plus minus. Wow, that's worse than I thought it was. So I watched the game last night, and he seemed like he was playing well. And he's a guy who is gonna have like not a lot of stats, but he provides a lot for you. So I guess that's how it was. Like he didn't have his stats. He did all the intangible things, but I'm okay with it. I don't think he was the reason we lost the game. And Knicks lost to the Celtics. It's okay. Celtics are a really good team, but the in-season tournament screwed the Knicks over with how it's set up. So the Knicks, after blowing out the Hornets on the final night of the in-season tournament by 24 points, advanced to the knockout stage as the Eastern Conference wildcard. They played the Bucks, had to go into Milwaukee in a tough environment, and they lost by 24 points, 146 to 122, and they struggled in the second half a lot. This was a 3-point game at the half. It was 55-52 at the half. Going into the third quarter, feeling good. This is right where we want to be. Dame hadn't done much. Giannis hadn't done much. And then in the second half, Malik Beasley is the one who killed us. He went crazy from deep. And it's been the 3-pointers the last 2 games that have killed the Knicks. They really haven't they haven't defended the 3 enough, and I don't know if that's partly Quentin Grimes in the Celtic game at least, because he's a good perimeter defender. I think DiVincenzo is also, but I think Grimes is a little bit better at that. But I didn't think the Knicks were going to win the in-season tournament. The Pacers have looked so good, and they're winning the championship game of that right now as I speak. The Lakers have also looked really good in the tournament. And I think Adam Silver knocked it out of the park adding this into the season. In the first inaugural season of it, I think it's gained a lot more traction than he thought, and a lot more fans than I thought have bought into it. I was skeptical of it at first, but after seeing the court designs and the jerseys, I thought they could have been better. They were a little weird. But then watching on that final Tuesday of November, I think I was watching 4 games at once. I was watching the Bucks game, I was watching the Knicks game, I was watching the Celtic game, and I was watching the Nets game. Like that was so fun. And it's in November. A lot of people say the NBA doesn't start till Christmas. The NBA has gotten a lot of media attention from this. A lot more media than they normally do this early in the season. And it's been really fun. The fans are bought in, the players are bought in. They want this extra $500,000. I know it doesn't seem like much for them, but the guy I've heard Brunson and RJ and Hart and DiVincenzo saying that they want to win it for the guys at the end of the bench. Their boy Ryan Arcidiacono, who doesn't see the court very much. They want to and doesn't make as much money. They want to win it for him. Put some extra cash in his pocket. He still makes a ton of money, don't get me wrong. And somebody else who's gonna make a ton of money, Shohei Ohtani, but we'll get to that in a couple minutes here. And I'm also gonna get my week 14 picks for NFL. But I think it's been a really good decision to add this in. And it's set up that any team can get into the knockout stage and then end up winning it. You only have to win 3 games after advancing. You only have to win 7 games. You don't even have to win 7 games to win the whole tournament. The Pacers, if they win right now, they're gonna win 6 games and win a tournament. Now, are these teams gonna hang up a banner? I don't know. Are they gonna get rings? I don't know. They are gonna get a trophy, and I know there's a tournament MVP. I think a tournament defensive player. There were a couple other awards. I don't remember all of them, but I think it's good, and I like it. I'm excited for next year to happen already. But the way it's set up, like, say a team, see who's at the bottom of the league. The Pistons. They didn't win a game in November. Say they won 3 games. They won on 2 Tuesdays and a Friday in November. They could be playing in this game right now, and then they'd have to win 2 more games, and then they could be playing right now for a in-season tournament championship, the first one ever. Like, how cool is that? It's not a long season where you have to grind and you have to win a ton of games. You just have to win 5, maybe 6 games, and you can get a tournament. So I think that part of it will entice fans more. And then also, after the Celtics got knocked out, Brad Stevens said, all right, we know what we need to do now. We're going to be active in February at the trade deadline and put our team over the top and and um and go after a championship, because they're in a championship window right now. Tatum in his prime, Brown in his prime, Kristaps Porzingis has been hooping, and that's they make me mad when the Knicks play against them, but they're a fun team to watch. And and it sucks that they're in the Knicks division, because it really takes away from winning the division. Although that doesn't matter at all. If you win the division, you might not even be in the playoffs. Well, you're gonna be, but you don't have an automatic bid like you do in the MLB or the NBA or NFL. All right, he made his decision. The two-way player in the MLB, straight out of Japan, Shohei Ohtani, is taking his talents to Los Angeles. 10 years, $700 million. $700 million. That seems like a lot more money than I thought he should have gotten paid to me. I didn't think he should have gotten $700 million. I thought it was going to be more 550 to $600 million range, only because he's not going to be able to pitch for at least next year and maybe even longer. But that's what he got, and if I was Shohei and teams were offering me $700 million, I would take that. I think that has to be the highest offer. There's no way anybody went above that. You know what's crazy? Shohei got Shohei got hurt last year, right? And he missed the last month of the season from pitching. He still had 44 home runs and 10 wins on the mound. Like, that's just insane to me. He's so dominant. Like, he might be the greatest player to ever walk the face of the earth at the end of his career. This contract is going to take him all the way till his age 39 season, and I wouldn't be surprised if he retires as a Dodger. So here's the question I was thinking about earlier. Say Shohei keeps up this level of performance for all 10 years. Just stays the same. 44 homers, around there, 10 wins on the mound a season. Obviously, he's not going to be able to pitch next year, but that's besides the point. Did the Angels retire his number? Did the Dodgers retire his number? Did either of those teams retire his number? I don't know. Like, it's so difficult to me because I feel like Shohei didn't play long enough on the Angels. He only played with them for 6 seasons. But he gave them so much. And he didn't even bring them to the postseason. And that might be the reason he doesn't get his number retired there. Because he didn't get into the postseason. Which, if you're Shohei, that sucks. Because you had no team around you outside of yourself and Mike Trout. And then you played. I don't even know if he could have played better. And you still don't make the playoffs. But that's how it goes sometimes, and that's how it happened for Shohei. Doesn't have a team around him, can't do anything. Similar to Dame in Portland, didn't have a team around him. He went to the playoffs a couple times and won a couple playoff series. Didn't have a team around him, couldn't win a championship, NBA Finals. But I think Shohei now has the opportunity more than ever to win a championship. I mentioned the Celtics earlier in a championship window. The Los Angeles Dodgers are in a championship window. Mookie Betts, Shohei Ohtani, Freddie Freeman. That's 3 MVPs on your team. And 2 of those guys already have World Series rings. In Mookie Betts and Freddie Freeman. I think Freddie Freeman has an MVP. I know he has a World Series. Freddie Freeman. And I think both of these guys are going to be team oriented and not care as much that Shohei is going to be the center of attention. I think they're willing to give him the attention if they're going to win a championship and a World Series. Because, I mean, the main goal has to be winning all the time. You want to win. That's the main thing you got to do. And sometimes that means taking not promoting yourself as much and letting your teammates do the work for you. I think they're going to go out there, compete, and fight their hardest every day. All 3 of them, that's what they have to do. But it's going to be, that's a scary team. And I think this makes them the World Series favorites easily right now. The one concern I have with them is their pitching. I mean, I don't know if Clayton Kershaw retired, but if he didn't, he's at the tail end of his career. And he's not going to provide a ton. And then you look at, I don't even know who else is on that rotation. I think Julio Urias got arrested, and they have nobody else pitching. So that might be the only issue that they have. But besides that, the offense looks scary. And I'm reading that they're still in the Yamamoto sweepstakes. So if they add him, that's another pitcher. That will add to their pitching depth that I just mentioned. But I don't think they're gonna get Yamamoto. I think he's going to the Mets. My boys got the jacket on today. But I think 700 for Shohei, just wrapping it up. I think 700 million is too much money for him. I think it's a great deal if you're a Dodger fan. And the last thing I want to say is that offense is scary, but they don't have enough pitching to do it. All right, I'm gonna move on to Juan Soto. Talk about him for a couple minutes, not too long. So he got traded to the Yankees this week also, and this has been a crazy offseason already. 2 superstars getting traded within the first. Well, not trade. One of them traded, one of them signed a free agent deal. The richest one in free agency in MLB history, that is, in Shohei Ohtani, by over $200 million. Which is insane, but I think it's gonna be worth it for the I don't think it's gonna be worth it for the Dodgers when it's all said and done. I don't know if he's gonna keep up his pitching for that long. All right, but Juan Soto got traded from the Padres to the Yankees. It's gonna be his 3rd team in 3 years, and I think this will be good for the Yankees. They're trying to go back to the evil empire, paying guys whatever they want. Aaron Judge, you gave him $360 million last year. Juan Soto, come here. We're going to have to pay you after the season, but we're going to do that. Yamamoto, we'll give you whatever you want. He's going to the Mets, though. You're going to have to sign Anthony Volpe in a couple years. You're going to have to sign Jason Dominguez in a couple years. Austin Wells. But losing Kyle Higashioka means that you lose one of your top 3 catchers. And So I don't know if I'm questioning their depth because they still have what's his name? They have Austin Wells, and what's their other catcher's name? Yankees catcher Jose Trevino. And I think Trevino will take Wells under his wing, mentor him for the next couple seasons, and then Wells will eventually take his spot. But overall, I think it's going to be a good trade for the Padres as they add a left field power hitting guy. I don't know how the short porch is going to affect him because he's at his best when he's spreading the ball all over the field, and he gets in his slumps when he's pulling it, trying to pull everything. So it might affect him in a good way. It might affect him in a bad way. But time will tell. And I think it'll be overall a good move for the Yankees. All right, we're gonna do these NFL picks real quick here. All right, Bucks and Falcons. Give me the Falcons. They finally figured out how to use their top picks, first round picks. All right, Colts and Bengals. Give me the Colts. Jake Browning is not good enough to lead lead the Bengals against a competent Colts team that's actually in a playoff spot right now. And then I just don't see them winning that. All right, Jaguars and Browns. Give me the Jags. Trevor Lawrence. I don't know if he's out. He has a high ankle sprain. What Patrick Mahomes had in the playoffs last year, and I don't know if he's out because on the injury report, it's not. He's not listed on it. I still want. I still want the Jags in this one. Texans and Jets. Give me the Texans easily. Jets don't have enough offensive firepower. C.J. Stroud has looked like an MVP candidate and the clear Rookie of the Year winner. Rams and Ravens. Give me the Ravens. Rams are just a mediocre team, and the Ravens have been really good, even with Mark Andrews being sidelined. All right, Lions and Bears. Give me the Lions. They've been at the top of the NFC all year, and the Bears, they've been at the bottom. They haven't been good at all. Panthers, Saints. Give me the Saints. The Panthers have had a change at head coach recently. I think with a young quarterback over there and Bryce Young, a rookie. I don't know if he has the headspace yet and the mental toughness to work through it and still be a top quarterback or be a good quarterback and lead a team. All right, Vikings and Raiders. Give me the Vikings. Josh Jacobs has actually been a good quarterback since getting traded at the deadline, and um, the the Raiders don't know how to throw the ball to Devontae Adams. They don't use him enough at all. Seahawks, Niners in the middle of their 5-game bird gauntlet. They're 2-0 right now, looking to get another win against the Seahawks. They beat them on Thanksgiving already, and that's who I'm choosing here, the 49ers. They're just so good. They have so many good players on their team. Brandon Ayuk, Deebo Samuel, Christian McCaffrey. Um, uh, what's the other guy's name? George Kittle. And then Brock Purdy could just sit back there and throw the ball to whoever he wants to or just stick it in the stomach of Christian McCaffrey. Bills and Chiefs, the game of the week in my eyes. Give me the Chiefs. They always seem to win this rivalry that's been brewing for the past couple of years against the Bills. And they have a better team this year. I know the receiving core hasn't been good at all, and it's been the only factor that's let this team down right now. And the only thing that's holding them back. But I think the Chiefs are still going to win. Patrick Mahomes going to work, work through it, and give me the Chiefs. Broncos and Chargers. Give me the Broncos. Brandon Staley is not a good head coach. I think he should be fired after the season. And Sean Payton has turned this team around after Nathaniel Hackett screwed up a lot last year. Payton has used the first couple weeks to fix those mistakes and then get this team to where they're supposed to be with Russell Wilson and Jerry Jeudy and Pat Surtain. Eagles and Cowboys, another really good game this week. Give me the Cowboys. Eagles just got blown out by the Niners. They're on their heels right now. And the Cowboys haven't lost a game at home in their last 14. and they're playing some really good ball right now. Packers and Giants on Monday Night Football. I got 2 words for this one. Tommy DeVito. Titans and Dolphins, the other Monday night game this week. I give me the Dolphins. The Titans are struggling. They don't have a good. They don't have any. Nobody's good outside of DeAndre Hopkins, and Levi's is throwing him the ball. Levis is throwing him the ball, and Derrick Henry's not playing. So that's gonna do it for this week of the NFL. Who I think is gonna win games. But before I finish the episode, go check out my Instagram at the sportspot_Ben. I already mentioned it earlier. I post bonus content and behind the scenes stuff. But all right, that's gonna do it for this episode. I'm your host, Ben Ballion, and this was the Sports Pod.